Hey, narrative community. So it is getting close to Christmas, as evidenced by all of the changes in the stores and the commercial shifting from the election to the Hershey Kiss Christmas Bell commercial coming on. Also, I've got like my ugly Christmas sweater that I made when I was a youth pastor last year of Baby Yoda on. Um, Heading into Christmas, there's a few things coming up that I just wanted to take a moment to update you all on. We're heading into our Advent season and our Advent curriculum, which will start next week. We're going to be going through the 5 songs of Christmas out of Luke's Gospel. The first is Gabriel in his song of pronouncement to Mary as to the incarnation in chapter 1. And then Mary's response will be week 2. It's a passage that the church has often called the Magnificat, but it also is in chapter 1. Our third one is going to be Zechariah's song at the birth of John the Baptist and his praise to the Lord at the very end of chapter 1. And then our last 2 songs coming out of chapter 2. Number 4 being the angels and the infamous, I always call it the Linus passage because of the Charlie Brown Christmas special. So even though network television is not celebrating it, we certainly will be. Out of chapter 2 verses 13 and 14, and then towards the end of chapter 2 with Simeon and the dedication where he sees the face of Jesus, the face of his Messiah that he was prophesied he would meet before the Lord called him home. The whole idea behind all of this and why to focus in on the songs actually comes out of the book of Psalms, and the idea of rejoicing in the Lord. Psalm 35:9 says, "Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation." So using that as kind of our theme verse for the next several weeks, again, Psalm 35:9, "Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation." Christmas is a time of music and of joy. What better year to be celebrating that than in 2020 with so much uncertainty and this kind of cloud of darkness around us? We really want our church and our movement to be a light in the midst of this dark, chaotic times. It's not an ideal Christmas, and this isn't really an ideal way to start a church, but to be fair, the original Christmas wasn't all that ideal either. I mean, Mary and Joseph had these great wedding plans that kind of got slighted because of her pregnancy outside of wedlock, with the Spirit coming upon her in a unique way. Not only was she pregnant and they had to deal with that cultural issue, they also had to travel on foot towards the end of her pregnancy to Joseph's hometown in Bethlehem. And not only was that not ideal, there was really no ideal place for them to stay for a while to be counted. And so they had to have the birth of the King of Kings in a very dirty, dark, cold cave amidst not really the ideal crowd that culture would call it, with animals and shepherds. And in the midst of that non-ideal situation came salvation. So for us in 2020, that's the message we really want the world to get to know and our community to get to know. There's really rarely ideal situations anyway, but this may feel even less ideal. What better time to talk about a less ideal Christmas narrative and a nativity story, and again reflecting on Psalm 35:9, "Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation." Is your soul delighting in the Lord right now? Is your soul ready to sing songs of his salvation right now? I just want to encourage y'all to take a pause as we enter into this Advent season already, kind of early, taking advantage of this unique year. And just begin to pray through it and connect and unite your heart to the Lord. Is he where your rejoicing is? Is he where your hope is? Was it in a very chaotic election? Was it in a vaccine that's been recently announced? Or is your hope and your joy truly in an unideal Christmas 2,000 years ago, where the King of Kings humbled himself so much that he came to us in our darkness, in our chaos, in our confusion? May the church of Jesus Christ go in that same way, to people in non-ideal situations here in 2020. May we show them reasons to rejoice, reasons to be joyful, reasons and a defense for the hope within us, as Peter tells us. We look forward to diving into these passages and these songs with you the next few weeks. Again, we were meeting Tuesday nights, but we're going to have our online small groups start next week on the 16th. So if you're not able to meet with us in person, send us a message. Y'all can get in contact with us, even post a comment. We can shoot you an email back and forth. We can get you hooked up with our online small group. Again, it'll be Monday evenings starting next week on the 16th. So Tuesdays in person, Mondays online, as we study the 5 songs of Christmas over the next several weeks, and we seek the joy of Jesus in his salvation. We look forward to diving into this with you. We love you all. We're praying for you, and we'll see you next week.